Okay, Instagram, or not Instagram, YouTube.
YouTubers.
This is going to be like a weekly roundup for you. So let's get started. We're talking about opening up the energy of the reading with the Death card. This is Pluto. This is Scorpio. These are transformations. These are natural endings.
Yeah, just so you guys know, so there is a lunar eclipse this week on the 27th in Aquarius, the closest and the longest lunar eclipse that we've had in over 100 some years, like 127 years. So you're gonna be up in your feelings and your thoughts, definitely, with like, what am I doing versus what do I feel like I passionately want, where my place is in the world.
Absolutely.
As far as the sun being in Leo, because that's opposing this whole idea of how I see myself.
Right, and we just had that full moon in Capricorn, and I swear to you, everyone is feeling the weight of what their life actually means to them, right? Considering.
All right, let's go through the weeklies with these signs. We're going to jet through. Just follow along and don't blink an eye.
Right. Aries,
King of Rods.
There
Bam. All right, your mind is fixed on some
fire.
passions. There's a male in your life, or you're the male. If you're an Aries male, you're probably like, what's going on with my career? Or you've really finally made up your mind about that girl or that boy that you truly do feel that way about. Or you just feel really like scorned from something. Maybe you were too brute or too passionate about something, and now your mind is fixed on like the results from that.
Some of you are having to make some mature decisions about something that you've been lollygagging on, right? It's like this person right here does not really waste any time when they have to make a decision, nor do they want to waste any time, right? So it's like you've been doing that, and that is not really in your nature. Or some of you have really jumped the gun or taken advantage of some opportunities that you were presented with, whether or not they be very beneficial to you. You just take advantage of the opportunity, and that might be good or bad. You never know.
You're really fixed on that passion, whatever it is. Just be mature in your approach to your sexual drive.
Right.
All right, Taurus.
Yes.
The Empress. So some of you may be pregnant this month. If you're just, if you're trying to get pregnant and you're married, that's just something to think about. That's an easy go-to as far as the Empress, because it is about fertility. So if you're not trying to get pregnant and you're a married couple, definitely, wrap it up. And be careful, because the potency of like trying of pregnancy and a baby is high right now. Also, if you're going into some type of idea, you are Taurus, practical. So if you're going into business, this is a really good sign. If you're signing some type of contract this week or something, just try to get it all done before Mercury goes into retrograde. But this is definitely a possible go-to. Yes, good.
I feel like maybe a lot of you Tauruses, you could be pregnant or you could be expecting. And you might be just wondering if you can actually be as physical as you were before. We do have the Venus and Virgo card here, and that's where Venus is right now. This being the Venus card, you might be thinking of your daily routine and how you can still keep it in the midst of your pregnancy, or in the midst of these changes that you might be experiencing with your body. Maybe some of you are going on a diet and you're still trying to exercise the way you did, and you're realizing that, whoa, this diet isn't giving me enough calories to do all of this exercise. I need to eat more. Or maybe some of you are just really trying to get yourself together and feel good about the way you look. It's about positive body image.
Gemini. Libra. All right, so this is progressive from you. It's a sister air sign, so you can understand this kind of energy in a sense. It's a more mature way of approaching relationships for you. So maybe you normally just want to go in and just kind of find out. You just want to you don't think about necessarily the weighing it out as far as the other person's side as much as you find the information for information's sake. It's almost like Sagittarius, honesty for honesty's sake, when people are you're too honest, and then they end up getting scorned. And it's the same thing with you with information.
Right.
Sometimes you need to be a little bit more compassionate. We haven't gotten to a water sign yet. When you're going through the zodiac, you're the third, the first air, and the Cancer is after you. So, looking at the emotions and feeling out what's fair in relationships is going to be really important.
I feel like some of you are really starting to examine the relationships and weigh things out with people that you may have known for a while, and you're just trying to sort of get a sense of what the recalibration is of your relationship and what the dynamic is. Some of you are understanding what the dynamic is, and you're making certain definite decisions based on what you have deemed that dynamic to now be. Things are unfolding as we sort of have this interplay of energy going on, and I think that you guys really do need to just think about being fair in regards to the situation. Be good to it.
Cancer. Pluto is here, atonement, judgment. All right, so bam. Like, you know what you know what you know. Okay, it's gone around 360 degrees. Somebody did something. There might have been a reveal, or you finally revealed how you've always felt about this situation or this person. Now everybody knows, and now you're going to act accordingly after that. You know, because it's out there, and there's no point in like unknowing what you know or pretending.
Right. I feel like some of you are actually not really wasting any time holding on to a grudge or holding on to any resentment that you may have felt within a certain situation, because it's not really serving you. If you continue to sort of like think that you can control a situation that's actually controlling you, then it's like you really just have to like release that and give it away to the universe so that it can like purify you and your spirit so that you can move on to something else.
You're really letting go of the idea of allowing others to affect you emotionally so much. You're finding the balance in your shell.
Leo.
We
You got Saturn and Libra.
Okay, happy birthday, Leo, first of all. Yay, but right. Yeah. So, you know, Leo, you do rule the heart. So this is very powerful for you, because that just means that you're really analyzing things, why you do things, and where you are in your realm. I'm a Leo, so I relate to this card, and it's an exalted card in the sense that you may have experienced disappointment with a lot of relationships, maybe a lot of different air signs somehow, and there are lessons to be learned from these things. You might be waiting for some type of sense of self or some type of balance to come back inside of yourself so that you can learn these lessons and maybe get back to a place where you do feel excited about love again.
Speaking of sense of self, it's like you're thinking about the people that you know or the places that you've been, and you know what you've been involved in and how these relationships have shaped you, because it's really about, you know, it's about the restrictions that you feel within these relationships, but it's also how these restrictions affect you and how you approach the situation based on what you know, when you're in and you're learning the ups and downs of whatever the situation is. So things are shaping you and you're starting to see yourself a little bit differently, and that's good, because it's like you want to have that evolution.
All right, Virgo. Page of Swords. Okay, Virgo, so there are still lessons to be learned. There are always things to be learned, Virgo. Don't ever forget that, okay? And it's also talking about your approach to learning. Maybe you're having a hard time with that approach to learning. You always want to learn in your way, but you could be being very mature and immature in your process somehow. You know, the ability to learn and the excitement to learn something is there, but your approach to it, maybe when other people are around or when you feel like you're being critiqued, could be overly sensitive somehow. You could be thinking that someone, another air sign, is more harmful than they are, or that they're just being really immature somehow. Maybe there's an air sign in your life that's really kind of nagging you a little bit right now. You want to tame it.
Yeah, I feel like some of you might want to think about, you know, just with Mercury going into retrograde on July 26th, which is actually his birthday. And then like right after July 26th, the very next day, we got that eclipse going on. So this is talking about you actually going back to a place where you thought that you might have known enough about a certain situation or enough about a certain someone or, you know, institution. Maybe it's something that you had information on that maybe the information has changed, because the pages do invoke change, and it's just saying don't get too wrapped up in the fact that things are changing. Just, you know, review everything successfully.
Measure twice and cut once, Virgo.
Yeah, Libra,
the devil. All right, Libra, so you could be maybe feeling really lustful this week. Or you could be feeling even like, you know, sometimes when you experience trauma or you experience emotional tensions, you can cling to the physical because it's something that's tangible and we can control our bodies. We're inside our bodies. So it's very possible that you might just be focused on physical pleasure somehow in order to alleviate some other type of emotional tension, because this is talking about restriction and boundaries, Capricorn energy.
Right. I feel like maybe some of you have been codependent in your relationships, you know, or you may have been codependent in an experience. It could be just something that you may have gotten wrapped up into and you didn't realize that you were in it until you were in it, you know. And this is talking about cutting the ties and breaking the bonds that might be making you feel like there is no way out of a certain situation that might be plaguing you. Emotionally, yes, because it's actually physical. It's your physical environment. It's your body. You may not be feeling well. You may not be getting enough sleep. It's all of those things, you know what I mean? It's kind of how like you manifest your thoughts and your feelings into your own body, right? So this is like the opposite of the lovers. You've got that the angel, and then you've got the subconscious, and you've got the conscious. In this, those things are a little bit contaminated. So it's like talking about, you know, breaking out of that, clearing the energy.
And your fears. All right, Scorpio. So in your mind, you're setting free.
Yes.
You're thinking about expanding or relating in a way maybe you were being very closed or very fearful. Mercury and Aquarius, you could be analyzing yourself now and the way that you do things. And maybe you're thinking there's more learning and more relating to be had.
Yeah.
You might not necessarily know how you're going to do that, but there might be a sense of like wanting to somehow, wanting to merge this idea of thoughts with your emotions of nostalgia.
I feel like you want to understand how things can be better, and you want to understand how you can make things better. And this comes from a place of, you know, it's naivety, right? It's almost like you're like, okay, I guess I'll have to like start thinking in a more impressionable way, with a more impressionable mind, like allowing myself to be influenced by other people, even though I'm fixed. This is Mercury and Aquarius, so Aquarius is fixed, but it does allow itself to be a little bit influenced by other people. It does discern, but it does allow for the influence of everything.
Because it's an air sign, so it wants to naturally, it wants to not miss out on that magic.
That's the benefit of having cardinal, fixed, and mutable, right?
All right, Sag. All right, hey. Now this energy is giving me, hey, your ruler, Jupiter,
It's
lucky
direct
wheel of
now,
fortune. This is the husband, the man, the job. I tour, I go off. Oh, you heard? You heard about me? Oh, you listened to the CD? You liked it, boo? Oh, yeah, you saw me in that outfit? I was looking fierce on that issue, wasn't I? Bam! Right? So it's giving you very lucky, very expansive. Be careful, though, because wherever you are in your life right now, Jupiter will expand whatever it is. And Jupiter has been in Scorpio for almost a year, and it's been expanding these deep emotions, and guess what? It's going to pay off.
Those things that have been blocked that you may have not been aware of are now starting to come into a little bit more clarity, because Jupiter is going direct in your 12th house, right?
And it's going into your sign in September, at the end of September, finally, after 12, 13 years. Oh my gosh.
I'm ready for that.
We're all so ready.
I'm ready for that. I'm so ready. Let's do it.
It's going to be so exciting, okay? Right. All the travel, all the sex, all the good food, all the good music.
Demand your success.
Woo!
Demand your success, Sagittarius.
Pleasures.
Demand.
And higher learning. Capricorn. Changing that script a little bit. Capricorn, this is actually you too. You know, this is cardinal energy. This is Earth. Right. So that's you. So this is like, if you're a female Capricorn, you're like, man, maybe you're getting what you've always wanted, which is like the reputation or the solidifying of who you are to your mate. Maybe they're actually calling you by your nickname now, or saying that they love you, or showing up after work, or listening to you when you fight, or, you know, apologizing when they didn't want to before. Right. There could be anything like that. Or you could definitely be having to focus a lot on your duties, like your earthly duties, as this kind of wifey person, you know, or just feeling like very nurturing somehow. You want to watch something grow. You want to do something with a fundraising event, or with your friends and family. Maybe there's a family reunion, or you want to bring people together somehow. You want to get up on your soapbox, and you might very much want to express some part of yourself.
Some of you might be feeling like you're really bringing a lot of influence into a situation of manifestation. Like you might be partnering with someone, or you might be investing with someone, or someone might have given you a gift of an investment in any way. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a loan or something like that. You're really sort of like appreciating something that was probably offered to you, or something that you earned. And that's really good, because Capricorn, all you do is really work hard for whatever it is that you try to attain for yourself. And you deserve things, but then you also deserve to notice everything else too.
Right. It's always a balance there. And if it's like a female, if you're a male, you know, or if you're a female, you know, and you're thinking about this woman in your life, like, it's definitely a go there. If it's like, you know, you're not listening to yourself, this is truly how you feel about this person who is like a wifey person to you, whoever that person is, male or female, you need to go for that and not miss that opportunity.
Aquarius, you got the Ten of Pentacles. This is Sun and Virgo, so this is really having an appreciation for things that have sort of been manifested that you've been building for a long time. Maybe you find that there's been a certain situation that you've been committed to, and now you're starting to see some results as far as like feeling good about what it's attaining for you. Yeah.
This is progression, you know, this is like you winning, this is inheritance, legacy, the lottery. If you're doing something with business is probably going pretty well right now, or it's going to pick up, definitely. Or it's just an accumulation and there's no looking back now. You know, you've gotten to this place now where you know what you know about something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that could also mean just the proof of something. So if it's in a relationship and you think somebody's been cheating or anything like that, it's like you're not going to you're not going to be able to lie to yourself this week. Like, it's like, if something comes up, you need to look at it, especially with the eclipse coming on Friday in your sign.
Right. And some things are actually really working for you, yes? Mars is retrograde there, but that's because you're sort of like allowing the universe to sort of like take you on this
Very
ride.
positive card for you.
Pisces, as we close it out, you got the Five of Swords. So this is talking about conflicts
Aquarius.
within a relationship as far as like communications, and things are sort of just not really clear. You're not clear on what you're communicating to someone, or maybe someone is not clear on how they're communicating with you. Maybe someone doesn't feel like they can communicate with you in a certain type of way because they feel like maybe they always get the same part of you, right?
There could be definitely a conflict, like lucky or unlucky. It's a temporary situation where you're clashing with someone mentally. There could be a slander within, the type of thing where you're going off at the wall when nobody's there, pretending that that person's there so you can be ready for the fight just in case they do start it with you. And this, like that type of thing. It's like, you know, like you're kind of caught up in, you know, like Venus and Aquarius. Venus doesn't necessarily like to be in Aquarius. Aquarius, you know, you're being too rigid.
Right.
You know, think about your grandparents when what they think is beautiful versus what a teenager might think is beautiful. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, button this up, put this on, put this hat on, wear this thing too. I'm hot, Grandma. You know what I mean?
It's really, it's like you really know how to take it's like you really know how to take the beauty out of a situation that should otherwise be harmonious.
Pleasurable.
Right?
Yeah, it should have been pleasurable. So maybe there's too much. Yeah, and
there's too much emphasis on what's like not working.
It could be with a group of people because it's a 5.
Right.
So maybe you're in a trip, or you're going on a road trip, or it's something to do with your job, and it's a temporary period of time, maybe a week, couple days, and like everybody's not necessarily getting along during this trip. But it's only for the week. Enjoy your time there.
You're wondering what other people's opinions might be of you, and it's causing some conflict for you. So you stop worrying about what other people might think of you, okay? And just know that you're doing a great job.
Okay, bottom of the deck for everybody is the Transformation Death card, so that's the theme. So all of this, you can take what we've revealed for you and think about it in a way that is about transforming yourself or not fighting the current of the emotions and the density of like what is really being shown to you. So if you get some type of intuitive things this week with the Death card being there, it's like you better wake up and like listen to it. You know, it's not something that's just, this is kind of a major thing. You know, it's not like something that's just like pussyfooting around. You're going to have some epiphanies or some dreams, maybe even write them down.
Venus is in Virgo right now, so you guys might want to search what that means for you, because whatever it is that you're going through right now, the whole idea of beauty within daily routine might actually fit into you getting closer to the goals. Thanks, everybody. These were your weeklies. Email us at providencetarot@gmail.com if you want a private reading or if you want to donate to our YouTube channel. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Wait, I forgot.